welcome back to the SA Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League.
My favourite, you know.
It's hotting up.
It's hot, and it is hotting up too.
It's hotting right up.
Yeah.
In fact, we've had the finals on the weekend.
Yeah.
A couple of really good games.
A couple
as
of
well.
upsets too.
Well, whether they're upsets, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll move and ask the Pres all about that. Craig Warman, the president, joins us as he normally does. Hi, mate. Do you think they were upsets on the weekend, or...?
Well, if you go back and look at the form guide, a couple of games that the couple of weeks prior, there was a different result to them. So, it's interesting to see.
Well, Morphettvale was one of them, obviously. They sort of come from fifth. They've beaten Happy Valley, which was a bit of a surprise. And I suppose the other one also was in the women's, where Christie's Beach got beaten quite easily in the end by Ranella. So they were two upsets.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. And when you look at, let's do the Morphettvale game first. The week before, Happy Valley beat them by 8 goals.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. Which we spoke about.
We spoke about that, and that was a good lead in for them. Unfortunately, Tate Coleman got a late call up to the Crows, so that threw a bit of a spanner in their works. But they just didn't use the ball well enough. And once you let Morphettvale start to dictate terms, they're a very hard side to overrun.
The nuisance value. That's who they are. They finished fifth last year.
And got all the way to the grand final. And they've done that the last 2 years.
Yeah, so
watch out Ranella this weekend.
Well, it's not unexpected. That's not unexpected, that victory, really, given their form in the last couple of years. Yeah,
and the fact that they've done it the hard way this year with the amount of injuries that they've got to quality players. But they've still just got enough on the park to cause a bit of, as you say, nuisance value.
Yeah.
But Michael Hamby's done a great job there.
Yeah. And Orlunga Ranella, that's was a great game. Only 20 points, 3 goals in the end.
But you just got the feeling, and you're going to talk to one of the blokes who played in that game a little bit later. You just had the feeling that Ranella were just off key.
Okay.
They just couldn't get things started. They were in it for a long period of time. As the old story, quick turnover, goal at the other end. And that's where Noarlunga certainly came out to play in the first quarter. Jaden Kapler, Darren's lad, he killed it in the first quarter. Yeah. Kicked two goals, set up another 2. So they were 4 goals to nothing virtually at quarter time, and there's the end result.
Well, they needed some consistency this week because they're up against Flagstaff Hills, so a quarter is not going to cut the mustard against Flagstaff.
No, well, exactly right. But in saying that, we go back to the last game of the season, and Flagstaff Hill absolutely belted Noarlunga by 70 points.
Yeah.
So it's just...
Well,
you'd hate to be a betting man.
Yeah, okay.
And the other one,
but if you do gamble responsibly.
The other one, of course, is Morphettvale now. They go on and play Ranella, who you say are a little bit off and whatever. Now they've got to play at Port Lunga.
Yeah, on Sunday. As we've mentioned many times, the games between Morphettvale and Ranella, doesn't matter where they are on the premiership table, they're like the old Port Norwood games.
It's always been that way.
And it's been like that for 100 years. Mm-hmm. And the last time they played, Morphettvale got them at Morphettvale, and that's about 6 weeks ago.
About 6 weeks, it was too. Yeah, we can remember that game actually, because I think we all went for no, Ranella should win that. Yeah. But we've been saying that about Morphettvale all year. Well, they're there, but are they there? And here they are again.
They're hanging in there, aren't they? They're just hanging in.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose when I was coaching Cove, Morphettvale were just so super strong, and then they sort of had a bit of a dip for a few years, and finishing 5th over the last couple and making last year to the grand final. They've still got the structure in place. Yeah. They know how to win important games.
Yes.
And that's what Morphettvale have always been renowned for.
Well, it makes them a strong club. To have that up there, then have a little dip, but still be there. Still be there. Hanging around the place. So it makes them a pretty strong football club all round.
Yeah, they are, very much so. And one of the, over 100 years they've been battling it out with Ranella. So you can expect a titanic tussle on Sunday as well.
Okay, now Flaggies Noarlunga, that's at Bice. Now, that's a pretty big
That is a big oval.
Now, who's that going to suit, mate? I think it might.
Well, I reckon it will suit Flagstaff Hill.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about
which
that.
I was going to say.
If Noarlunga are able to keep the game close and in tight, I reckon they're a fair chance. Although they've lost one of their juggernauts in the middle, Sammy Miller, split a kidney on the weekend, so he won't be playing.
Ouch.
Split
a kidney?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Bit of friendly fire.
Wow.
I'd be playing this week, though.
Do you reckon?
I'd be back.
Strap her up.
Yeah, strap it up. Yeah.
You Port Adelaide blokes, you're all the same. But look, Flagstaff Hill, we saw them on their ground. Their precision, their ability to be able to find a target, I think is going to cause Noarlunga a bit of grief.
Yeah, that's a biggie. Now, what about all the other results, mate? Because a lot of finals on the weekend, the girls and whatever. Just run us through what's going on and what's coming up, more importantly.
Well, in the girls' side, Ando's already touched on Christie's Beach, who'd been top of the table all year.
All year.
Went to played Ranella, and Ranella got them in the end, so they'll now drop out to a preliminary final, where they'll take on Flagstaff Hill women's, who beat Port Noarlunga, who finished second during the year. So
it's on.
It's on for the ladies. Don't worry about that. The preliminary final will be Flagstaff Hill and Christie's, and of course Flagstaff Hill are the reigning premiers as well. They're a bit like Morpeth Vale in the women's competition.
So what turned around Ranella, though? I mean, they've actually had, 20 shots of goals to top of the table Christie's, who only had 6. I mean, have they got some players back? I mean, that's a big turnaround.
It is a big turnaround, but they did get a couple of players back, but it was very windy last weekend, and if you didn't use the wind to your advantage, you were going to struggle. So I think that's probably what happened in that particular game.
That was a surprise. The Sunday was extremely windy. It was amazingly windy. That would have affected a couple of games.
Yeah, I read it was going westerly, then it went to a southerly. So if you had the in the last quarter, you got a guard behind you.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
If you lucked out and you had it for 3 quarters instead of 1.
Yeah, I know.
if you lucked out, that's right. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go through these games. What about the juniors, mate? We got any scores on the 17s and
guys? Some interesting results there. In the C grade, Ranella will play. Yeah, they got over the line and beat Flagstaff Hill, so they're straight through to the grand final. You've got Morpeth Vale again, a bit of a surprise. So they beat Cove, I think it was, and then so they'll play Flagstaff Hill in the C grade final. Ranella beat Morpeth Vale by a point in the B grade game.
Wow.
By 1, I saw that. Yeah, 4-6 to Morpeth Vale 4-5, 1 point. And low scoring too.
Yeah, and it was just one of those games that was just between the arcs and not much in it at all. So Ranella will advance.
You keep saying Ranella. They're in everything. They're pepper and salt. They're just about in everything.
Well, when you've got as many teams as they have, Baz, you're going to win a few. It's a really strong club.
Yeah.
But Flagstaff Hill will take them on in the B grade.
But it's interesting what your son, I think it was, I watched the show the other week, and you were chatting to Barry about how good the competition has been all year. I mean, you could be sitting 8th, and you're only 1 game away from probably sneaking to 3rd or 4th during the year. The finals is looking exactly as tight as that as well. I mean, look, Ranella's now, say in the women's even, the Ranella are in the grand final, but there's no certainty.
No,
they're certainly not the leading team of the year to all of a sudden be sitting in a grand final and play against Christie's or Flaggies, Flaggies in a fortnight's time.
I'd expect, certainly in the women's grade, I think Christie's will bounce back.
Right.
They'll have a hard job in beating Flagstaff Hill, but they've been a good side all year, Christie's, so you'd expect them to bounce back.
Well, Flaggies had 20 shots of goal, so they're going to have a lot of confidence.
Very much so. And as I said, they are the reigning premiers.
Yeah, so both the women and the men's competition has just been, as you said, all year has been outstanding.
And it's continued all the way through the junior grades as well, with some terrific results.
All right, mate, let's get into Noarlunga and Flaggies at Bice Oval on Saturday. You've got to go for Flaggies, don't we, really, in that one?
I think they'll start favourites.
Yeah. Okay, and of course the other big one is on Sunday.
That's a big one, this one.
At Port Noarlunga, Morpeth Vale v Ranella.
Well, I'll let you boys kick that one off.
Oh, would you like? Oh, you're not going. We've got a Ranella fella in the studio.
I'm going Ranella.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going Ranella.
I'll stick with the black and whites.
Okay.
The black and whites.
Okay, you're going with the black and whites. All right, so we'll hold you to that.
Because
next
Billy's
week, mate.
watching.
Yeah, well, that's right, Billy, that's right. Thanks for joining us, mate. You're not going too far either because you're going to stick around. We've got a little job for you a little bit later on in the studio here. So
Yeah, apparently so.
yeah, so stick around. But thanks for joining us today, mate. Good luck with the finals next week. Which game you doing? You doing both games?
We'll do both games.
Okay,
Yeah.
good luck, mate. Should be a cracking weekend of football in the Southern Footy League. The president, Craig Warman, joining us as usual. Back with more in just a moment.